How's it going, everybody? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. I invite you to pull up a chair, sit back, and relax, and welcome you to another episode of the SPMA Council Podcast, where we're almost probably a month into the 2020 fall term,
It's October 1st.
which is unbelievably crazy. I can tell you that. Um, and I hope everyone is doing well, given the circumstances that we're online and everyone is adapting to that front. I know maybe in-person classes might be everyone's preference, but we gotta live with the current climate. So I hope everyone is coping, and to the first years, I hope you've at least met someone over the course of this month, despite the fact that it's virtual and a lot of people are at home. But on to other things. We got a great episode planned for you today, but before we get to that, we got our social media expert, Evan Pike, finally making his co-hosting debut. Not a big deal. It's great to finally have you on, buddy. How's it going?
Yeah, thank you, Will. I appreciate that. It's good. I'm similar to your situation, just going with the flow with online learning. I think it's a little more difficult than in class. I think we all prefer it being in class, but yeah, just going with the flow. Happy to be here. Happy for this awesome episode.
Yeah, yeah. And then you mentioned you're still in St. Kitts. So which neighborhood are you in, by the way? Where are you studying?
I'm just at the bottom of the hill on Glenridge.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You might think I'm a maniac for doing this, but that's my running route. So I run up the Glenridge Hill. Um, yeah,
oh yeah, just
yeah,
a
yeah.
nice little three,
Yeah,
four,
just
five
just a,
K.
yeah, just a nice little jog. Only like a 40-degree pitch uphill, and it's only 800 meters, and your legs may be dead tired after. But other than that, it's an easy run.
You're gonna have calves like Phil Mickelson.
Oh yeah, yeah. Activate the calves. Activate the
Activate the
calves. You'll
calves.
see the golf theme is prevalent throughout this episode for obvious reasons. And our guest was Adam Hunter. He's the senior manager of Growing the Game for Golf Canada, and a Sprock SPMA alum. Really, really humble, down to earth guest. Great to hear about his experiences and his journey from Brock SPMA to Golf Canada. Evan, what are your thoughts on the episode?
Yeah, I just wanted to take the chance to thank Adam again for coming on, and the episode was awesome. He provides a lot of really helpful insight for STEAM students and anyone else that's going to listen. He may not think his story is unique, but I think it's very unique and very valuable for anyone trying to enter the golf industry or just gain some sort of insight in the industry and his role.
Definitely. I mean, like with relating it back to our theme, like getting out of your comfort zone. Like his like not like his role is literally working with up and coming golfers that may struggle at some points. So like just working with those type of people, that is 100% getting out of your comfort zone for conventional golf that you may not be used to. And you can see throughout the interview that he's passionate about what he does, and he's passionate about giving back. That's another theme that you'll notice in the episode. Plus there's a lot of really, really crucial advice and quotes that he shares that's you as listeners should definitely take note of.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Definitely. All right. Well, without further ado, let's send it over to this week's episode. Evan Pike making his co-hosting debut, and alongside our guest Adam Hunter of Golf Canada. Enjoy, folks. All right, for our next episode of the SPMA Council podcast, we have another great guest coming coming to you. He is the senior manager of growing the game at Golf Canada and a proud Brock SPMA alum. Please welcome Adam Hunter to the podcast. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
And no problem, no problem. To start off the show, as always, we like to start off with a nice open-ended question here. What makes your story unique?
Yeah, and I'm not sure my story is what I would call unique. I would say I'm fortunate and I'm lucky to be in the position I'm in. I graduated from SPMA in 2012, and right out of university, right out of Brock, I got a full-time position at Golf Canada. And, my passion has always been not only in sport, but specifically golf. And, pursuing a career right out of university in the golf industry, I felt like, maybe I didn't realize it at the time because I was still young. I was very fortunate and I was lucky, and I don't take that for granted now, or I'll never take that for granted. So I'm very fortunate and lucky.
Yeah, that's awesome. So next question, were there any significant moments during your time in SPMA that motivated you to pursue a career in Golf Canada? Or was there just like a certain class that stood out to you, anything really that was sort of major in you pursuing Golf Canada?
It's a good question, Evan. I think, I hate to sort of use this answer as a bit of a cop-out, but every class within SPMA at Brock really equipped myself and all SPMA alumni to be well suited or well versed within the sport industry, allowing us to excel with whatever organization we were lucky enough to have the opportunity to start with. Every class, I think of marketing and accounting at the time, and I don't want to speak for everyone, but at the time I was sort of questioning, I'm not an accountant. What am I going to use this for? I can tell you that I was naive and I was wrong. My position at Golf Canada, I oversee our Grow the Game department. So all our participation programs fall under my portfolio. But within that, I I work with our chief financial officer on our budgets and accounting and inventory management. I work with our partnerships marketing team on our corporate sponsors and supporters. We market, we communicate. So I run a number of different events throughout the year. So all the programs within the SPMA offering were fantastic. I can't think of one program or one class that I took that didn't equip me to excel in my current role. So I'm just so thankful to the old profs. I'm not sure if most of them or some of them are still there, but they were very important in allowing me to get ready for the world, for work and my career.
Definitely. I mean, to the SPMA students out there that are for first year just coming in, the class, some of the class content may be a bit content heavy, broad, or whatever, and you may not think too much of it, but in reality, you're probably going to at least take a couple things from each course.
Yeah. I would say soak it all up. I know,
definitely.
they might be broad, especially in first year. everything that you learn while it's academia, it applies to business and the sport industry. And, you know, picking up those skills at a young age in university will really, really put you in a good position to excel in whatever career path you choose. So
100%.
I was naive, maybe a little bit, but looking back on it, you know, what a great experience and a fantastic program.
100%. Like, as you said, doesn't matter which career path you're thinking of or pursuing. The classes are there to equip you with the knowledge that you need to succeed, whether it be like a marketing class, an event management class, sponsorship class, or any of that nature. Even though the semester for everyone is online, do your best to soak in the knowledge and at least try and learn something new every day from those classes. And I tell you, if you do that, then there's a very good chance that you're going to be successful. Moving on to your current tenure with Golf Canada, all your roles have been sort of centered around growing the game. You were the coordinator of youth development for a number of years. You moved on to being the manager of junior programming, and now to your current position as senior manager of growing the game. Did you have any specific reasons why you want to pursue this avenue of the golf business?
I did. I grew up playing competitively as a junior golfer. I met a lot of my current friends and people who I'm really close with on the golf course through golf. And, you know, I use the term, I grew up on the golf course. I learned, you know, values, life skills, and, you know, realizing what golf meant to me at a young age growing up. I wanted to give back and do my best, do my part in growing the sport and improving the lives of young people throughout our country. So, you know, my experience as a junior golfer and just seeing what it did for me, I wanted to do my best and make sure that all young people throughout the country have the same opportunities that I did. So that's really, you know, what I think about every single day. I wake up and, you know, my role is how are we going to grow participation in Canada, specifically juniors age 18 and under. And I mentioned it earlier, I feel lucky to have that opportunity. It's a privilege. And, you know, I feel like myself and my team, we work diligently to try and give back and make sure that that all kids have the same opportunities that we had growing up.
Definitely. I mean, giving back can be such a simple thing, but you know, and you're lucky enough to do it in a professional role. But you know,
Yeah.
because a simple thing is like volunteering for your community, like to the people that you know are starting a sport, or it can be or it can be related or can't or probably may not be related to sport, such as like volunteering at a church or a food or a food bank. Regardless, you're making a difference on people's lives, and whether you realize it or not, you know it's you know it's gonna make an impact one way or another. And obviously the current situation has limited this, but you know within the SPMA program, there's a bunch of opportunities for you to dip your toes into the Niagara community and give back in that way. Like you know from personal experience, I was involved with this year's virtual marathon of sport for motion ball, and you know even though it was a virtual event, we had our Special Olympics athletes on for a little meeting with our committee. And I tell you, the looks on their faces when they were interacting with us, just the fact that they were there, like you know, their faces lit up the whole screen, and it was such a good thing to see. So giving back it's not only a great thing to put on your resume, but it's great for, building yourself as a professional, and it's also great for your confidence as well.
Yeah, and your personal growth, just
100%.
seeing the effect that you can have on people. It allows you to really take a step back and realize what's important in life, both personally and professionally, and even what you guys do with the SPMA Council podcast. I mean, that's giving back to your fellow peers. So kudos to you guys for the work you do here.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I know we didn't pose this question to you, but do you have like a home course that you play that you get out to often?
I used to, Evan. I used to play. There's a golf course in Milton called Trafalgar Golf and Country Club.
Oh
I
yeah.
was a junior member there from my dad got me in there when I was 6, and I sort of grew up. Like I said, my parents used to drop me and a couple buddies off every morning in the summer, and we used to spend the day there and annoy, all the workers and pro shop staff. We would play 36, 54, have lunch, run around.
I love it.
And it just taught me so much. I mean, I just learned so much how to be a respectful young individual, honesty, integrity, perseverance, all the life skills that really transfer to every part of your life. That was an important time in my life, and I thank my old man for that opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So little segue. I know you talked about like in your role, you're growing the game, and obviously that is one of your reasons for being in that role. Other than growing the game, like in sort of conventional golf courses and contexts, have there been any unique locations that you've targeted around Ontario or Canada as ways to try and expand golf in our country?
Yeah, because over the past few years, we have had the opportunity to, we were successful in receiving some funding from Sport Canada to start work in Indigenous communities throughout the country. And, historically, golf has never been at the forefront of sport in those communities. So to have that opportunity and introduce the sport in a number of different communities throughout the country has been fantastic. And, it's going to be a focus of ours moving forward. In addition, there's so much important conversation about social injustice, diversity and inclusion. And through a new program, we just partnered with an organization called First Tee in the States. That's a very, very important and big focus of ours moving forward. So, in the past, Indigenous communities, but taking a step back, diversity and inclusion as a whole is going to be at the forefront of everything we do from a junior golf standpoint moving forward.
Definitely. I mean, the game of golf has its own unique challenges in regards to growing it. Like I'm a pretty avid golfer. I usually golf like probably around 7 rounds a year. But what you do notice as you continue to play the game is that it is a time commitment, not just the round play itself, but getting to the course, driving back from the course. It may not be something some people are willing to commit to, and so with golf, you always have to be willing to find new ways to expand the sport, connect it somehow to the younger generation. And really, I mean, I think the pandemic, as awful as has been for some sport organizations, golf was actually the first one that you could look at it and say, okay, this can actually be viable in a pandemic environment. And as a result, with people who had nothing to do, they were like, okay, let's go golf, regardless of if they've tried it before. Like the golf course I go to when I'm at my farm, it's just east of Belleville. I think, what's the course called? Trilliumwood Golf Club. We were talking to the owner, and he said that like tee times were like as full as they would be in a regular year, if not better. And that's just a great thing for the industry, that golf is getting the eyes that it desperately needs, when people's attention spans or focus maybe are diminished in the past. Plus the fact that you get to go out to these locations where it's not a popular sport and make an impact on the lives of people, especially Canada's First Peoples. Must be a huge honor. We're just to follow up on that, like what location did you travel to? Did you have to go up north, or did you visit one of the indigenous reserves?
We were our work was focused in a community called Alexander First Nations in Alberta,
Okay.
about 45 minutes north of Edmonton, and that's where our programming was focused. Moving forward, we are going to be expanding that to a number of other communities throughout the country. But that's really where it all started a few years ago now. And yeah, very successful, very rewarding, provided us with some key learnings to allow us to, tweak some things within our program and make it even better as we move forward here.
Definitely. And the next segment I want to go into, it sort of segues into into my points and your last answer, where this summer's been quite different than summers in the past, to say the least. Would you be able to speak on the challenges and opportunities that Golf Canada has faced during the season, and how you've handled them?
Yeah, it's a great question, and again, an important one. First off, to your point, William, golf has been the only show in town, so to speak, for the last 4 to 6 months, and that's allowed golf courses to fill their tee sheets every single day. I don't play as much as I used to, but it's a tough task finding a tee time these days. 3 or 4 days out, you got to go a week or 2 weeks, which is very, very good news. Tee sheets are full. Participation and rounds played are way up. So on the positive side, that's been a great story. One of the challenges specifically to my role, we have a number of different programs that we run, and most of them are group programming. So a number of kids will go to the golf course led by PGA of Canada professionals. We haven't been able to do that, obviously. Gathering 30, 40 kids in a tight area is just not feasible.
Right.
So we've had to pivot some of our offerings. But in saying that, it's been a good learning. It's allowed us to take a step back and understand what we've done well in the past, what we need to work on, some areas we need to improve. So, take the negative and turn it into a positive. But yeah, number one thing I would say is that golf's in a great spot right now, from my standpoint anyway. Participation is way up this summer, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can speak to that point too, because I'm an avid golfer too, and growing up in Guelph, and trying to find tee times in Guelph this summer was pretty, like, because I worked during the week and I was trying to find times on the weekends. I had to do it weeks in advance just to even find anything because it was just booked, which is, I mean, frustrating in one hand, but the other hand was obviously amazing for growing golf in Canada. And I guess my last question here was definitely probably the main one that I was looking to ask you in the interview. Obviously, since Will and I have some interest in the golf industry, would you, and obviously people who are also going to be listening to this will as well, people having interest in the industry, could you give us and other students any advice on how we can gain some experience in the industry, whether that's volunteering, like a full-time job, even an internship? Because I know a lot of students in SPMA try and get an internship fourth year. So yeah, just any advice or pointers or anything.
Yeah, I would say number one thing is to show people that you have a passion for whatever you're doing. You know, no one cares what you know until they know that you care about what you're doing. So showing people that you have a passion for a volunteer role or an internship or a position is very important in allowing you to grow and succeed. Number two, and my dad always said this to me growing up. He was a sales guy and a good one at that. He always said, "It's not what you know, it's who you know." And again, growing up, a lot of the times I was thinking that was BS. But in reality, you know, he was right for the most part. Make contacts, you know, network, introduce yourself to individuals that maybe could help support you in your growth in the future. In terms of, you know, specific roles, opportunities within the golf space, golf industry is big. A lot of golf courses, a lot of organizations, but everyone knows everyone. So that goes back to my earlier point about it's not what you know, it's who you know. Again, if you make a good impression somewhere, word will travel that you are a passionate, competent, hardworking individual, and that'll open doors for you in the future. So there's tons of opportunities every summer, every year. Just go in there with your best foot forward and really show people that you care and you have a passion for what you do.
That's a great way to sum up what the keys to success in the industry. I mean, you know, it might be tough now for people, but you know, it's a thing where the industry is you know, demands sacrifice, no matter how tough the business environment is gonna be. So you know, as soon as you grasp the level of commitment that is needed, the level of effort that is needed, along with the fact that, you know, you might have to sacrifice a couple things along the way, then, you know, then the trends in history shows that you'll be in good hands. To wrap up this episode, and again, we know that you have a busy day coming up. We thank you for coming on to the show, and thanks again to Evan Pike for making a stellar co-hosting debut. Not a big deal. As is tradition on the podcast, we like to give the guest the last word to say what's on their mind, or anything else that they have that they have in their head that they want to wrap up the podcast on. So, as we say here on the podcast team, Adam, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you. I wasn't expecting that.
Curveball.
The only thing on my mind is that we got to take the Leafs flag down from behind you, William, and put like a Buffalo Bills flag.
I
What's
agree with
wrong with the
that.
Leafs flag? Come on.
No, I'm a big Bills fan, so
I can
that
I can respect that.
yeah, well, that's one thing on my mind is football season right now. It's an exciting time. Fall's my favorite time of the year. Golfing in the fall
Beautiful.
is perfect. It's elite. No, really, nothing else from my end. Again, congratulations to you guys for what you do here and what you provide for your peers. I think it's outstanding. I've listened to a number of episodes now, and they've been fantastic. So, congratulations, and keep up the good work. And look forward to chatting in the future with you guys.
Adam, again, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Evan, it was great having you on to co-host. So thank you both. Thank you both for joining. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.